101.9 FM. It's 11:30 and it's that time when we take you through business stories on economic trend on Rock City 101.9 FM. Welcome to the program Economic Trend. Today, the 23rd of April, year 2018. I am Chienye Egwuonwu, and I will take you through the reports. And I'm starting it off with this very report on NIMSA. The Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency has expressed concern over the quality of electricity meter in the country's power sector. The agency says that low-quality meters will worsen the power sector problems if not addressed. NEMSA Managing Director Peter Evesel adds that the development poses dangers to the sector, which is still undergoing challenges. Evesel says the agency has decided not to approve meters that fail pre-testing requirements, which include durability and the capacity of the meters. He explains that any meter imported into the country without typeset certificate can no longer be distributed or deployed in the country. According to him, if somebody is bringing in meters into the country, he must submit the meters to the NEMSA for pre-testing. He says the testing will show whether the meters will work in Nigeria or not, and after the test, a certificate known as typeset certificate will now be given to the owners or importers of the product. And away from that report on NIMSA, taking on this very one, the Universal Insurance PLC has appointed Mr. Paulinus Ofozo as its Executive Director, Technical Operations of the company. The company says the appointment follows the confirmation by the National Insurance Commission, NICOM. Prior to his new appointment, Mr. Ofozo was the Deputy General Manager, DGM, Technical and Enterprise Risk Management of the company. NICOM has directed that insurers should have an executive director in charge of technical operations, by which the board of directors had forwarded his name to NICOM as the nominee for the position. The firm's managing director, Ben Ojatwana, says with the appointment, the company has complied with the provision of the guideline from the NICOM, saying that every company should have an executive director, technical operation. A beverage giant, Coca-Cola Nigeria, has flagged off the construction of 5 blocks of classroom and renovation of existing structures at the First Baptist Primary School, Ijaye Ojale Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. The project also includes provision of an integrated literacy project, library facilities, and portable water supply, which will be extended to the host community, Ijaye and Ilogo, as well as 6 toilet facilities. The company's managing director, represented by the sustainability manager of the Coca-Cola West Africa, Mr. Osita Abana, at the turning of the sword of the project in Abeokuta, says the company is determined to do more in the area of corporate social responsibility in any parts of Nigeria. Abana, while commending the Ogun State government, says the company intends to embark on more developmental projects as part of its contribution to the society and nation building. The Ogun State Education, Science and Technology Commissioner, Mrs. Modupe Mujota, and the chairman of the State Universal Basic Education, Alhaji Abdul Jalili Okewale, represented by the board secretary, Mr. Olale Konkuye, asked every stakeholder, including companies, philanthropists, old students, among others, to join in funding the educational sector. Galaxy Backbone is putting in place modalities to incorporate the private sector in its digital services. At present, Galaxy Backbone is hosting the network of 300 ministries, departments, and agencies. The company's managing director, Mr. Yusuf Kazaure, says Galaxy Backbone is, at the moment, digitalizing government, which will be the attraction of every citizen and every business. According to him, the organization has the biggest internet connectivity center, which will be capable of hosting the networks of both MDAs and the private sector. Galaxy Backbone is a government company that provides digital services to public institutions and had grown exponentially with the capability to cater for private sector. Kazaure said that the fiber infrastructure will be enabled for sharing agreements among network service providers to further generate more revenue for the government. It is now mandatory for anyone seeking the allocation of land in a Federal Capital Territory (FCT) to possess National Identity Number (NIN). FCT Minister Muhammad Bello made this known while receiving the Director General of National Identity Management Commission in his office in Abuja. Bello explains that the measure will facilitate the tracking of land allocated in such areas. The National Identity Number (NIN), the minister added, will prevent multiple allocation of land and ensure equity in the process of land allocation. Nigeria Customs Service (NCS) says it has arrested 6 suspected smugglers in the last 3 weeks across Ogun State. State Controller of the agency, Sonny Magujo, who made this known at a press briefing and handing over to the newly posted Acting Controller, Agbara Michael, at the Idiroko border post of the command, says the era of seizure without accomplice was over. Madugu explains that suspects were arrested with various kinds of prohibited items which were smuggled into Nigeria. The agency, according to him, has put in place punitive measures towards arrest and prosecution of smugglers to serve as deterrent to other suspected smugglers in the state. Application for Nigerian international passports has dropped sharply, according to the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS). Data collected from the Bureau in its immigration statistics for 2017 shows that Nigeria Immigration Service received a total of 720,958 passport applications in 2017, while in 2016 the Bureau says the immigration received 3,684,288 passport applications. The Bureau also says 127,882 of the applicants in 2017 are minor, while 544,473 are adults, and the remaining 48,603 were senior citizens. The Nigeria Foreign Mission also recorded a sharp drop in passports they issued, with a total of 152,163 in 2017, as against 172,824 issued in 2016. The Immigration Service also generated 35,724,482,338 naira in 2017, as against 36,175,778,205 naira locally generated revenue in 2016. MTN Group Limited has appointed more banks for the sale of shares in its Nigerian unit on the stock exchange in Lagos, as it looks to start an initial public offering in June or July. MTN Nigeria has 52 million subscribers and generated $3 billion in revenue in 2017, according to MTN's financial statements. Rob Shatter, MTN's current chief executive officer, said in an interview this month that he expected the IPO to be finalized by the end of the year. People familiar with the matter say the Johannesburg-based wireless operator, Africa's largest by sales, has picked several banks and brokers, including Renaissance Capital, First Rand Limited's Rand Merchant Bank, and Nigeria firm Chapel Hill Denham. They are to work with global coordinators Citigroup Incorporated and Standard Bank Group Limited. The company met its bankers on Wednesday and held a presentation for foreign and local analysts on Friday in Lagos to give them more details about the deal and MTN Nigeria's finances, they said. MTN is yet to decide what portion of the subsidiary to sell, they also added. It may aim to raise about $400 million, or roughly 10% of the stock. "20 minutes to noon, and it's still the program Economic Trend here on Rock City 101.9 FM. Presidency has assured that there is nothing to worry about the debt profile of Nigeria. Finance Minister Kemi Adeosun gave the assurance in response to the concern raised by the International Monetary Fund at the ongoing spring meeting in Washington, D.C. on Friday. The minister said Nigeria is not one of the countries being referred to at the meeting as having high debt burden in huge proportion to their gross domestic product. Nigeria, according to the minister, is a mid-income nation and its debt level is below 20% to gross domestic product and not one of the lower-income countries having 55% debt level to their GDP being referred to at the meeting. She further explained that Nigeria has no intention of growing its debt aggressively and that it was being refinanced. PDP has resolved to set up a shadow cabinet ahead of the 2019 polls. The proposed shadow cabinet is to enable the party establish economic recovery roadmap ahead of the polls. The party made this known in a communique which was issued at the end of the meeting of its National Executive Council meeting in Abuja. It welcomed into its rank all Nigerians, groups and like-minded politicians to defeat APC in 2019 polls and to enthrone good governance. PDP also said it's in talks to form a coalition of democratic forces to end what it regards as misrule by APC-led federal government. A federal high court has stopped the ongoing sale of the troubled telecommunication firm Etisalat, which is now Nine Mobile. Justice Bintan Nyako issued the order while ruling on an ex parte application filed by some of the aggrieved shareholders of the company, Avdim Venture Limited and Dobia Nigeria Limited. The shareholders claim that they were sidelined in the decision-making in the company and are seeking a refund of their investment of $43.3 million in the company. The judge rules that the defendants in the suit ought to be held an adjourned hearing till May 14 for mention. Custodian and Allied PLC, a non-bank financial institution with investments in life and non-life insurance, pension fund administration, trusteeship and property holding businesses, has announced its audited report for the year ended 31st December 2017. The group's revenue rose from 38.551 billion naira to 43.052 billion naira in year 2017. Operating expenses stood at 29.988 billion compared with 25.899 billion naira in year 2016. Profit before tax improved from 7.89 billion naira to 8.933 billion naira, while the profit after tax also rose by 37% from 5.3 billion naira achieved in 2016 to 7.3 billion naira. The directors have recommended the payment of a final dividend of 32 kobo for every 50 kobo ordinary share. The company had earlier paid an interim dividend of 10 kobo per share, bringing the total to 42 kobo per share. The company has consistently paid dividends to its shareholders every year for the past 20 years. Chairman of Custodian and Allied PLC, Mrs. Mobola Johnson, had last year said that the company fully renovated, refurbished, computerized, and stocked the Lagos State Public Library at Ibikweju. Ogun State government is finalizing arrangements to construct the mini-grid solar electricity plants in the rural areas to boost the economy of the state. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Rural Development, Wele Ulubebi, speaking to Rock City FM during a one-day mini-grid developer stakeholders conference organized by the state government and the Nigeria Energy Support Program, says the mini-grid solar project will be completed before Governor Ibikunle Amosun leaves office in 2019. He said the project, which will come under the federal government's energy support program, will be financed by the state government and the selected mini-grids contractors in the state. Olubebi, who revealed that some of the mini-grid contractors have already started survey in some of the rural areas, said the state will know how much the project will gulp after the survey. And the last report on economic trend this morning, a total of 3.49 million passengers in 51,831 aircraft movements travel through the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja in 2017, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria (FAN) has disclosed this. FAN's annual traffic analysis for 2017, which was obtained by newsmen on Thursday in Abuja, stated that 2.78 million domestic passengers were recorded during the period. 708,532 international passengers, comprising 684,669 scheduled and 23,863 non-scheduled passengers traveled through the airport in the year. On aircraft movement, the statistics showed that there were 29,312 scheduled domestic aircraft movements and 14,496 non-scheduled domestic movements. It also revealed that there were 6,018 scheduled and 1,995 non-scheduled international aircraft movements at the airport during the year in review. And that will be it on the Monday edition of the program Economic Trend here on Rock City 101.9 FM, today the 23rd of April, year 2018. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Chienye. Good morning.